Okay, happy remembrance of Jesus Christ's birthday. So today is Christmas, you guys, and I wanted to bring you this video for a lot of different reasons. I get to celebrate today with my grandchildren and my daughter. I haven't celebrated Christmas with my daughter in umpteen years, and first time I got to hang out with my grandchildren in a while. So first off, I want to thank you, welcome you, and to begin, if you hear anything that resonates with you, please like, share. If you hear any truths that you can make applicable, if you think anyone else needs to hear this, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Now, Christmas. Today is Christmas, and it's like I said, my grandkids are here, and in my family and my culture, a lot of people celebrate with different things: alcohol, drugs, you know, just a good time. But as I sift back through childhood memories, I can see anytime there was any emotional event, whether it be Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, 3 year old's birthday party, it was always celebrated with alcohol and drugs. So if it was the 3 year old's birthday party, the tween was probably out playing with the kids, keeping them occupied while the adults was in the other room playing cards, drinking, and smoking. And that's how it always was. If anyone got into a fight, if one of my aunts or something got beat up by her boyfriend, all my other aunts got together, uncles got together, they drank, they smoked, and they talked about whooping that brother's butt. But, and so if there was a tragedy, somebody died, they got together, they drank, they smoked. So anytime there was an emotional event, there was always alcohol and drugs present. Now, me, uh, coming from this background, only emotion that they actually show me or show us is anger and sadness. Those are the only two things that my family is willing to deal with. They're either angry or they're sad. Now, happiness isn't real. And I hope you all know that. Happiness is based on something happening. There's a formula for happiness. You say A plus B equals C. If my wife makes my favorite meal, I'm going to be happy. If my favorite team wins the game, I'm going to be happy. If my favorite team doesn't win the game, I won't be happy. So you get that. There's a formula for happiness. So, again, happiness isn't real. It's based on other things. Now, joy is something else. Now, joy comes from the Lord. And we have it. We're born with joy. So have you ever seen like a 2 year old, little kid, little 2 year old, Christmas? It's Christmas Day. You got them all these great gifts, big things, jungle gym, whatever it is for them to play on. But they're happy and they found joy in the wrapping paper or the box. The box got all these pretty pictures on it, and they happy. They just want to play the box. But we begin to take that joy from them immediately. No. I know you have joy in the box. I know you found joy in the paper, but I need you to have happiness in what I gave you. Find happiness in what I gave you. Because if you're happy, it's going to make me happy. But that joy thing, so again, we start to ruin that for kids as a little age, but we're born with it. And over a course of time, I think life happens to us, different things sets off a different trajectory for us every day. The smallest minute thing, like simply not doing your everyday routine, not doing the things that you set out to do every day. The smallest thing could throw off your trajectory for the day, if not plan taken care of or contingency plans put in place. Different for different people. But again, to get back to what I'm saying, again, family, all they ever did was show anger and sadness. And again, happiness is temporary and isn't real. Over a course of time, joy is taken away from us. So my point of this whole thing is I grew up, and a lot of us grow up mismanaging our emotions. We don't use the right emotion for the right thing. So anytime there is something emotional come up, I was taught to handle it with alcohol and drugs. Now here I am, 14, 15, I'm having kids, and I'm having a problem. My girlfriend having a problem with school. So how do I handle it? I do what you taught me. I reach for the alcohol and drugs. Yeah, man, you have no clue. Man, my family was weird, man. I mean, weird, bro. Can I be real with you? Can I get real with you for a minute? I can remember, man, being 15 years old. On a school night, they sent me to the corner store to get the gallon of Colorado. Don't you want to drink tonight? Yeah. Even though it was a school night or something like that, man, they would still allow me to go drink. And not because really that's what they want to do. A lot of times because they was broke. I'm probably the one that had the money. Truth be told, yeah. I'm gonna tell it like it really is. But man, I would be manipulated into doing things with alcohol. Quotes to do things like they would have me babysit, literally get me drunk and leave me there with their children while I was intoxicated. And get me so intoxicated that I couldn't go out to the club. I couldn't go out to the party where I planned on going. Oh, well, since you drunk and you here, just stay here with the kids till I get back. Yeah, that was real for me growing up. And, I think, again, we tend to mess our children up if we don't tend to teach them, how to handle their emotions and not to have to reach for things. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm 25 and I'm 26 and I got families and I'm a full flood drug addict, now you mad at me. You mad at me for being what you created me to be. You made the environment perfect. It was like the perfect storm for me. Everywhere I went, there was alcohol and drugs. Everybody I knew, that's all they dealt with. And again, whenever there was any kind of emotional event, birthday parties, weddings, funerals, anything, there was always surrounded by alcohol and drugs. So my point is, listen, folks, we got to stop doing this to our kids. We have to stop and take a look at the environment that we're creating for them. And then we can't be in a place where once they become something that we created, now we're mad at them, or we're pushing them off to the side, casting them out into the world, saying, look at them, why can't they just stop? Why won't they just not do these things? Well, why don't you make a better environment for your kids when you see them heading down that path? Because I'm sure we see some things in our children where we know what they're heading on. And I'm sure as adults that we could pump brakes, you know what I'm saying, and not make it easy for them to get caught up into these certain things. Now, I'm not making excuses for me or any of the things that I've been into, because again, I thank God, and I thank I thank God for everything that I've been through, because everything I've been through has made me to who I am today. And who I am today is great. Beyond it's not in spite of whatever I've been through. It's because of what I've been through. I'm who I am. And I can stand on my truth today. And I know today that there's calling, there's purpose on my life. Because there's no way you could come from a storm that I've been in and make it out on the other side and not have something to say to somebody about it. Again, I encourage you to really think about the things that I'm talking about today, and really think and take a hard look at the iniquities that we put upon our children, and the things the environments that we let them grow up into, that we nourish for them. And then when we see them going down paths that they shouldn't go, we should be compasses. We should be navigation systems for our family. Especially in my culture, man, in my family, man, we don't have any male compasses. We don't have any male GPS systems. I have aunts, I have big mamas, there's grandmas and great aunties and this, that, and the other. But Uncle who? Yeah. All my uncles, man, they something else. If they still around. And again, I'm not making excuses for anything that I've been through, but it's because of the things that I have been through that I know that there has to be chains broken, that there has to be, the iniquities have to stop here with me. I'm not going to pass on to my children the things that were passed on to me. I can tell you a lot of different war stories, but that's not what I'm here to do today. Maybe not today on this video. I'm not going to reveal family secrets, but, look for that video one day, because one day I'm going to have to. If I'm going to be totally real with you and be honest with you, yeah, I'm going to be real with you about everything. So look for that video, Family Secrets, coming soon. But in the meantime, again, we have to be vigilant and about the things that we're doing around our children and the environments that we're creating for them to grow up in. I have some friends right now. There's a young lady, and she seems to be out on her wits. She's been on drugs for some times, but she's been on drugs, not just street drugs, but she's been on legal drugs for quite a long time because she has a lot of different problems. But instead of anybody dealing with her problems, that they pushed her aside, put it in a corner, act like it didn't exist. Now she's an adult with these same problems, and then we send her out in the world. We still never taught her how to deal with her problems, but now we put her out there with other drugs. First we had the ones that the doctor gave her, and as long as she was in a controlled environment, the environment we created, and we showed her other things to do, other drugs, there's other things out here. Watch, I drink, I do these other things, And then when she gets out there and she's old enough and she reaches for those other things, and those other things have taken over her, now the family has pushed her aside and cast her straight. Now, and that beats me up inside. My heart cries for this young lady, and and it's an environment that these people created for her. And I'm just telling you today that, wake up and be aware about the environments that you're creating for the children that are coming behind you. Whether you're a parent, an uncle, a cousin, a friend. If you need to be a navigation system. You need to be a GPS. Kids should be able to look to you, and maybe they don't know where they're going, but you could still point them in the right direction. And that's what I mean by a navigation system. Now, if a compass, I mean a compass, we need to be compasses to our kids, and navigation systems, GPSs. So, as a compass, maybe we don't know exactly where they're going, but we can point them in the right direction. But as a navigation system, if they do tell us where they're going and they give us the exact coordinates of where they want, we can navigate their way, and we can tell them we better than ways, because I can tell you where the hurdles are going to be, where the hangups are going to be, where the people are going to be to try and get you snared and trapped, where the roadblocks are going to be, and we supposed to be that because we've been through those things, and we should be able to share in our experiences as GPS systems as to what not to do. Even if we don't know what to do, you know exactly what not to do. If you don't know how to be a good father, you know exactly what a good father is not. I bet you can tell them what a good father is not. Because I know that was one of my hang-ups. I never knew what a real good father was. I never seen one. At least not tangible one that was in my eyesight. All the men in my life were whoremongers, pimps, hustlers, stuff like that. They didn't ever pull me aside, tell me how to be a husband, how to be a father. They taught me how to load guns. They taught me how to bag stuff. They taught me how to cut stuff. They taught me how to go out and get girlfriends, and it don't matter how many I got. And if they got pregnant, oh well, first 16th, that's a check for you, buddy. And the more girls you got, the more kids you get, the bigger the check. That's what they taught me. They never told me when you got a son and he has an emotional problem, this is how you deal with it. And when your wife feels broken, this is how you be a husband to her. And those are the things that I'm here to talk about to you. So those are the things that we're going to dive in as we get more in depth into this journey. So I hope you stay with me as we go on and on with each other, because I'm here to learn just like you. I'm learning as I'm teaching. Again, I just encourage people to understand where I'm coming from, and understand what I'm trying to give to you, and understand that it's coming from a place of realness. I'm trying to make real change, not subsequent change, not temporary change. I want to make real change here on earth. So that's the whole point and the whole idea of this. So please, folks, take this ride with me, and as we continue, I'm going to get a little more in depth with all these things that I talked about. I'm just touching on the little things, and I just, I really, really, really want you to stop making these excuses for why our kids are like they are, when we need to make adjustments, and we can make adjustments now. Make the adjustment now so you don't have to make the excuse later. Get that? So they taught me to be high and drunk with these emotions, and mismanage my emotions. So I'm high and drunk, and the only thing I deal with is anger and sadness. So how am I supposed to be a good father when I've never even seen the blueprint of one? Or a good husband. And I'm actually telling some lies, and I'm not being totally honest with you. So I did have a good father, and if I ever needed any good fatherly advice, my dad's name was Ronald Cunningham. And if I needed discipline, my father's name was James Evans. And if I needed hope, a father that could give me hope for my future, his name was Cliff Huxtable. And I even had a good uncle. My Uncle Cliff was the man. So I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so, these were the only real relationships or real marriages or things that I could see. But they weren't real. They were just as real as Freddy Krueger. They were just as real as Jason to me. They were fantasy. They weren't tangible. They weren't nothing that I could put my hand on. I hope you get this. I hope somebody understood what I just said.